Imagine waking up one morning and something feels wrong. You look out your window, expecting to see the familiar blue horizon, the endless stretch of water meeting the sky, but it's gone. The waves are silent. The vast, deep oceans that cover over 70% of our planet have vanished overnight. At first, it's just pure confusion. News channels go into a frenzy, showing images that defy belief. Giant container ships, once sailing across the globe, now sit awkwardly on dry, cracked earth. Bustling ports, the lifelines of global trade, have become barren, silent deserts. A thick, salty haze hangs in the air, a ghost of what was once there. Whales, dolphins, and countless other marine creatures are left stranded, their world evaporated in an instant. The largest mass extinction event in history happens in a single night, but the initial shock is nothing compared to what comes next. The real impact begins almost immediately, and it's terrifying. You see, the oceans are the planet's thermostat. They absorb and distribute the sun's heat, keeping our climate stable and livable. Without them, that delicate balance shatters. Days become scorchingly hot, with temperatures soaring to unbearable levels, especially near the equator. Then, as the sun sets, the heat radiates away into space, with nothing to hold it back. Nights become brutally cold, plunging well below freezing. This extreme temperature swing creates weather systems of unimaginable violence. Hurricanes and typhoons, born from warm ocean waters, are gone. In their place, colossal dust storms rage across the newly exposed seabeds, carrying salt and sediment for thousands of miles, choking the air and burying entire cities. And then there's the water, or del lago Italiano. The oceans are the heart of the water cycle. Without them, there is no large-scale evaporation to form clouds. Rain simply stops. Rivers that have flowed for millennia dwindle to a trickle, then disappear completely. Lakes dry up, leaving behind nothing but cracked mud. Fresh water, the very essence of life, becomes the most precious and rare resource on Earth. The world's green landscapes begin to wither and die, turning brown and brittle. Agriculture collapses. Famine on a global scale is no longer a possibility. It's a certainty. The food chain, as we know it, is broken. Billions of people rely on the oceans for food. With all marine life gone, that source is eliminated. But it goes deeper. The collapse of marine ecosystems has a domino effect on land. Seabirds, bears, and countless other animals that depend on the ocean for their diets starve. The intricate web of life, woven over millions of years, unravels with terrifying speed. As the days turn into weeks, a new, more insidious threat emerges, one we can't see, but we can feel with every breath. More than half of the oxygen we breathe is produced by tiny marine organisms, like Without the oceans, our primary oxygen factory is shut down. The air we depend on to survive slowly, but surely, begins to change. The oxygen level starts to drop. Breathing becomes more difficult. People feel constantly tired, lethargic. At high altitudes, it becomes nearly impossible to survive without assistance. The very air is turning against us. Yet, amidst this planetary catastrophe, something incredible is revealed. As the waters receded, they uncovered a world no human had ever seen. The true face of our planet. We see the Mid-Atlantic Ridge, a colossal mountain range winding its way around the globe, now towering over vast, empty plains. We see canyons far deeper and wider than the Grand Canyon, like the Mariana Trench, a scar plunging 7 miles deep into the Earth's crust. We discover ancient volcanoes, hydrothermal vents still spewing minerals from the planet's core, and the preserved wrecks of ships lost to history, now sitting silently in an endless desert. It's like discovering a new continent, a hidden landscape that was under our noses the whole time. Humanity gets its first, and perhaps last, look at the Earth in its raw, unfiltered form. The planet looks wounded, scarred, but also magnificent in its unveiled complexity. But this awe-inspiring sight is a funeral shroud. Human civilization, built on the assumption of a stable world, begins to crumble. Governments fall, borders become meaningless, as billions of desperate people start to migrate, searching for the last remaining sources of water and habitable land. Conflicts erupt over dwindling resources. The fight for survival becomes primal, pitting neighbor against neighbor, nation against nation. The world descends into chaos. We would be forced to adapt in extreme ways. Perhaps humanity would retreat into underground bunkers or build sealed by desperately trying to recreate the conditions of the world we lost. Scientists would work around the clock, trying to generate oxygen and recycle every last drop of water. But these would be desperate measures, last-ditch efforts to survive on a dying planet. We would be living on borrowed time. The disappearance of the oceans teaches us a profound and brutal lesson. They were never just vast bodies of water. They were our planet's life support system. They gave us our climate, our weather, our water, and the very air we breathe. They were a blanket, protecting us from the harsh realities of space and the raw power of our own planet. They were the cradle of life, and the engine that sustained it. So, take a moment, the next time you see the ocean, or even just a picture of it, remember what it truly represents. It's not just a beautiful view or a place for recreation. It's the beating heart of our world. And if that heart were to stop, how long do you think the rest of the body could survive? The silence left behind by the vanished oceans would be the sound of our world ending. Thanks for watching. If this thought experiment gave you a new perspective on our amazing planet, consider subscribing for more journeys into the what-ifs of our universe. Stay curious.